All right, let's get started, guys. Just doing a quick one here. It's Sunday today. We're doing it a bit later than usual, but I've got a couple of pairs. I've got about five pairs, couple of currencies, couple of indices, and a commodity to go over from this week. So this week we just had NFP. This week we just had NFP. So from the start to about Thursday-ish, there was very slow movement, except from obviously some in the morning. But yeah, very slow movement, and then we had obviously NFP come in. Next week we're looking good. Maybe we might get some movement. When I say next week, I mean this week, literally tomorrow. But there's bank holiday tomorrow, so not much will be happening then. But yeah, literally Tuesday onwards. But let's look back and let's see what this week has done. Let's start off with the hedge. Okay, so mm, okay. So essentially, I think we're bullish times three on this. Yeah, high time frame is bullish, intraday is bullish, and lower time frame is bullish, right? Um, I was looking at a hedge buy and sell over here. So just to stay on the high time frame, this is something that we're looking at, and this is something I was looking at as well. Not this week. This I think was a couple of maybe 2 weeks or 1 week ago. Essentially, this for me was the line in the sand, right? So if this was to break, then that's it. I'll go into a distro with this. Okay, to go down to lower prices where I'll be looking for buys. But if this holds, then I know that obviously we've got our attempt to distribute, which fails because price taps into demand, and then we go and make a new high here. So that was it. Pretty much, I was looking at this area and I was looking at this area. Um, and then the buy. For me, the buy would have been here. We'll talk about it in a second. If you were to just do the whole leg first of all, okay. I'll just stay on high down there. You could also do this as well. Okay. See, there's some lining up. Um, do the whole fibber as well. Go back in there. Cool. And then I'm gonna try go inside and I want to see what's in there. Start with an hour first. Cool. So I like the fact that we have taken Asian. Cool. I like the fact that we've taken Asian. This is a Friday. This is London. I want to say, I think, or maybe Frankfurt. Yeah, this is London here. So I like that. That's our London Open. I want to see if I can find a nice candle in here, like that 55 actually. Some imbalance. Okay, maybe 15, 54. Yes, so 52. There's some balance in there. All right, yeah. Okay. I already like that 51. I think that's good enough for me. But I'll see if I can find a better one. 55, No, I think that 51 was it. Yeah, it captures all of that. So we'll keep it at the 51 and then just do that. Okay, so I like the fact that we've got London open. So this is obviously the last push down. I like the fact that we've got London open, we've got imbalance, and then we're into that 50 of this PA here. And not to mention, we've obviously took out Asian low and then Asian high, and then most importantly though, uh, we made a new high. Okay, this it. We went and we made a new high. So coming back into this, we could go and place a limit on that 50. Let's see what that would be if we were to do from 50 to 80 and then 80 to full leg. So bring that to about 80 points just to round off to about 20. Okay. Just want to fine. That one should be fine, but I'll put another point to it. So that's 30, that's 50. Cool. And then essentially what we're looking for is we're looking for a new high. Right, so that will give you a 33 to 1, and that one will give you about 20 to 1. Your 10 to 1 would be somewhere here. 10 to 1 would be somewhere here. Cool. So that's what we'll be looking for the buy. At the same time, when we're looking at this, so as I said, we know that we made this high, so this is our leg. And then we broke order flow here after this reaccumulation. This would have been our SC. We trade through it. And then we kind of got this attempt to accumulate here. But obviously, given that the bearishness coming in, given that this is holding our leg, we could anticipate that this can turn into a redistro, which I think it does. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. So we turn into a redistro here. Um, so at that point, when price when price comes back up into here, whether we don't break this or whether we do break this is still an area where we could look at to look for sales. Okay, now the difference would be if we break it, we can be a little bit more risk on, because then that's the new leg now. This is our SC of that new leg. If we don't break it, then it would just be an air hedge, which we would just pretty much be like an order flip, hedge play, order flip play for me, which would just be that 0.10 risk. If it broke that and then we come here, then I'll pretty much give it about 0.25 in total, with 0.10 on the limit maybe, and then 0.15 on some sort of schematic or something. So that's the difference for me. And then essentially, I like this. This is the Thursday price action right here. Okay, so we can definitely see the destroy in play. This is something that I'll be looking at if we come there. But I won't look at it now because it's gonna get all messy. So let's look at what happens with the buy if we get into that. So we're coming up to Friday the 18th here. Okay, and then this one here would have, so Friday the 18th would have activated you, and then the 50 here would have tapped you out, and then away in from the 80. So the 80 would have got activated, and then you would yeah, you would still be in. Cool. And then for me, I'll go to reduce risk on here once we make this high. Yeah. And we do. Right, so we're in reduced risk now. And essentially, if we get a pullback, I'll go with that reduced risk into to fill up some of this imbalance and play into this Friday New York session here. I don't think we got it. No, we don't get it. Okay, cool. So now we're coming up into this area. So we've lost this one. Let's just say I don't know. We'll put 25 and 25 on each, right? So should we choose for 50 bucks at this? So we're down minus 25 for now. Down minus 25. Cool. And then we're coming up into here, right? So let's look at what we can play into this. So now, as I said, I like the fact that we broke this. I like the fact that we tried to accumulate. There's a shakeout inside Thursday, New York, and then we get the break, the ultimate break. Okay, so this is an area to target from the buy. At the same time, because now that we're in the buy, we could potentially come in here, get some more sell orders, and then go and break, for example, right? So I don't mind throwing a little risk here, given now that I'm at reduced risk, and I will definitely be at break even. So I'd have been at reduced risk here, break even here, and then next time we go up like that, I'll pay myself my risk plus my loss. So my risk was just 25 bucks, and then my loss here from that 50 was 25 bucks. So in total, that's 50 bucks I would pay. So let's see. Oh, hold on. So first of all, we're gonna do is we're gonna look what's in here. Let's see if I can. I'm gonna delete this just so then we don't get confused. I'll delete this one as well. Right. Cool. And then we're looking at inside here. 1 o'clock. Open. You got 2:30 here as well, so XPTUSD open. That's right there. Okay, cool. So essentially somewhere around here, between that 50 and then that 80, where we can look for sales. I wonder if it's worth a limit on that. Okay, guess we could throw a limit in here as well, just on that 80, just to see if we can get it. And again, we'll be targeting that, right, to make a new low. And then essentially your 10 to 1 is somewhere there. Cool. Let's see what else is in here. Do we have any? Okay, no divergence there. I want to see if we maybe got some. Don't look like we've got any. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just have to get in there and see what's up. I think came into that 50. So now we're going. Yeah, so that came into that 50. Okay, so I'll do this time. I'll delete this. Now essentially we do have a distro here, right? We do 1, 2, 3. But this area here would have been where I would have got in, not, I wouldn't try to, this would only be in if I was from here and I would have gone to reduce risk, because we know that obviously we have tapped into demand, we've got a reaction, um, with bullish breaks, and then what's to say that this distro, although it's active, taps into here and then gives us that, we don't know. So I mean, it comes perfectly into the 50, breaks the Asian highs and gives us that new low. So the only thing I guess we would look for is we'll look for a micro coming out of there. I essentially don't like the fact that we've tapped into here. This was another area that I was looking for buys. Yeah, somewhere in there we would have been looking for buys, but not after it has tapped into supply here. So we just have to wait, and we just have to see. We just have to wait to see who's in control, um, and who has more of a power. Okay, so if you was to look for a micro, this would be a good area here. So let's see. Let's see. And then nope. But we've made a new high. Well, we've reaccumulated. Oh no, sorry, we haven't. We haven't. Okay, let's just see what else happens. But now we've definitely reaccumulated. Okay. Um, attempt to distribute, get a shakeout, and then we reaccumulate here. Cool. This is still nothing. Reason why is because this redistro here is what's still holding us leg. This is just a micro order flow. So we've got an accumulation, we've got a distro with an accumulation, so it's a reaccumulation, and then now we could be getting a distro to go down. Break this, and this becomes our accumulation with a distribution redistro. So let's see. So we're into the equities open. See if we get okay. So this taps into a during Asian, can't really do anything. See if we give it a TV. Well, not shake out. Yeah. Okay, so we take it out now, which is great. And we are essentially in the extreme of the extreme, right? So this is it. If we were to look for sales, this would be it. It's at a perfect session as well. So let's come back up. Right, this I'm just gonna minimize this right here. Cool. Now let's go back down. Let's look at what we've got. So I like what we're forming. Okay. If you can get some sort of break here with a pullback, that's lovely. Lovely. Now at the same time, let's see what could have given us something in here. Right, there's this lovely micro. Lovely micro, maybe only 15 seconds. Right there. Okay, so this is our distro. That's our secondary test. That's our UT. and this is our U chart, and then we get a break. Right now, let's see if we get uh, miss you, I think. Yeah, I think this would miss you for sure. Even here, yeah, shame, it's a shame. But let's see if we get that break, because this is also another clean distro. Now, if we get that break here, and then we get a pullback back into here somewhere, that'll be great. Because that 80 is still not still unmitigated. So if we get a break, maybe a limit could go there. Oh, hold on, it comes back. So another one. Right, so it does come into that 50. Right. What time is this? So this is at 3 p.m. my time. This would be something that I could actually throw at that 80. And then that, yeah. Okay, so this would be a loss. So let's just say again 25, 25. So this will be $50 loss here. Yeah. Well, let's now come back up. And let's see where we value it and see where we are. Yeah, okay, so we're still inside the zone. That's cool. Maybe we just got caught being too early. Um, where would we look for sales if we were to get in now? Okay, so for me, it would happen right here. If we get a clean break, but I am bearing in mind that we're coming fairly late into the session, and I think this is like I said, it's a Thursday. Thursday, I can maybe push it to about 4:30 latest. Because this is still in the building phase. I just need to get that break. If I get that break with a sign of weakness, that would be something I can maybe throw to cover up some of that imbalance. So let's see. Yes, we don't have the break of the trading range just yet and come up. Okay, perfect. Boom. Right now for me, this distro is obviously active. I don't think I need to go down just yet. I can play off the 3 minute. Cool. And this was our last push up. Cool. I like where the 80 is. I'll set a limit of the 80 here. I'll do 80. And then I'll set the 50 as well. Cool. And then my target would be to see if we can go and make these lows. That'll be my main target here. Okay. And then take out these lows, that'll be the first target, and then just hold partial to see what happens next. Cool. Now we're just waiting for the pullback. So we're coming up fairly late into the evening now. This is good, so because I would have wanted this to see something early morning, right? So we'll build up some sort of liquidity like we are with the Asian session. We get that Frankfurt pop, given that this is a um, German market, so we will get it 1 hour before London Open. So we'll see if we can get something like that, where this is Frankfurt, this is London, and then we can get in just before, during, or before New York, and then we can write it down for Friday afternoon. And then if we don't get into anything, once we make this low, I will delete it. So same thing, same risk 25, 25. I'm trying to find where is right here. So risk 25, and then we've lost another 50 as well. Cool. Lost another 50. Yeah. Just because we're too early. Okay, so that's a damn shame. Right, so it comes into the POI, but just not deep enough and not in the right session. So for me, I would say this is now done. I'm not looking to do anything with it, unless we go and we break this. If we break this, then maybe we can play something like 50 or 80 out of that to go down lower. But that's it. I'm deleting this. This is not. I'm not in this. Let's see. So we come on to Friday. And then yeah, okay, so we break that. Okay, and that brings us to where we are now. Okay, so that's a shame, because we was right to look for sales out of here, but we just got caught too early, and then we was patient with it. We tried to get into a re-entry, we was a couple of pips away, and then in the wrong session. So 3 o'clock my time in the morning, very late or early, some of us. Cool, and then obviously target was achieved here, which is a shame. There is this redistro which I could have looked at and I could have got into had I been in this trade, because then I would have threw the same risk and I would have been break even on it. And this one was kind of beautiful. We can clearly see so we can clearly see the attempt to accumulate right here, and then we come into the distro. So let's just break, and then we do the same thing here as well. Okay, attempt to accumulate, come into, and then come into this area. I think the only thing I didn't like was the fact that we never broke this. Yeah, but this would have been the re-entry opportunity had I been in that. Uh, so, anyways, that's that. So where we are at. So this one did give you that 10-1. And you definitely take partials there, and then you'll be sitting at a 7-1. And then just look at this, right? So look at the work that you would do. This one, it was pretty much set the limit and pretty much forget it, wait for price to come into it, so which is this one, and then just hold it. And then when we try to look for the hedge, you saw obviously we got burnt once, we waited twice, but nothing. So it is what it is. We'll now wait for the next opportunity, and then ride it. Cool. So that was German 30. GU was another good one. But before I go on to that one, I need to bring up. Give me a second. I need to bring up GU from before, because I think we was talking about it. I think last time he was here. I'm bringing a bunch of it. Cool. So I think we've had when was this? This was early August. So we was looking at this early August, right? We knew that we tapped into a demand area, but then at the same time we was playing out of this redistro to making this new low here. This was the point of interest. I think it was the 4 minute or the 41 minute. I can't remember exactly. I think it's the 4 minute we was looking at to see if we could go lower and then essentially make this break here. And then that was price coming up, and then this was it the week before. Comes very close to that 50. Just doesn't really give us anything but a minor break, but then it does come into that 50 and then it distributes here. We can see that, and then this is the one that really breaks, right? So that was that, and then essentially from there we did go and make a new low. We did go and make a new low here as well, and this is where we are now. So as I said, we made a new low here, but what we come back to is quite significant. We come back into this point of interest. So this is where we have tapped into 50% of that after making this low. And then from there we make a new leg. And essentially this is the MC and this is the SC. This is the micro distro that we got, and then this is the redistro that goes and breaks this. But then more importantly, it goes and breaks this. We did try come back, but we didn't mitigate anything. So essentially this is just a continuation flow. So the leg is still that. But as I said, what we come back to is very important because we come back into news. We come back into the 23rd. And if you go back 23rd, this was the flash. So that's where we had the flash manufacturing news and then the flash manufacturing news for both GBP and then USD. But at that time, the GBP news obviously moved that one as well. Cool. So with this one, you don't really need to do much. I think I tried to look for something. Let me try to remember what was it. What was I can't remember what it was now. That's what it was. 48. Right. Um. 50% of the 40 minute, and then that's 80% of the 40 minute. Um. When we look at that, we have got London Open in here. Not to mention, we've also got this big fat imbalance from the news. Once sellers really came in here. Okay. And then I guess you could go and then, because this is still was holding the leg. You could see, so we've got 50 there, 50% of this leg, sorry, of this POI, we've got imbalance, and then we've got market open, London in there. And then now we just have to wait for when price gets back this week. Pick it up. Price just makes another continuation, nothing too crazy. and then we only go and we miss this sucker. That is so nice. So we do come into 50% of this whole leg, but that would be, I think, way too crazy if you were to place a limit here today about 35 pips or so. And then if you then offset it from 80 to the 26 pips. But I was looking inside this slingshot. We was right too, as you can see here. But we just couldn't get anything. It didn't build anything either. We can look at it on the lower time frame. We didn't get anything in it, and I was looking even if we had like that, oh sorry, that, and then take out this or something, and this, we didn't get none of that. So that was Thursday, and then we come into Friday. Just that's the Asian session to London, and then we get NFP. NFP just pretty much taps into previous London, and off we go. So that's a damn shame because, as I said, this is a good movement of about 150 pips or so. So that's another missed one, but it is what it is. We just have to put it in the books. That was that. Cool. Let's go over a quick and easy one, which is EURNZD. So EURNZD, I think we were looking at this last time, but this is, I just wanted to go over this because of the market cycle. Okay, so if you were to look at this, then we don't even need to go anywhere, just stay on the 15 and then we'll be able to sit. So we know there was an attempt to distribute, price comes lower, but has no sort of effect in terms of demand, doesn't take out anything. And then we get a nice shakeout that does go and then give us a new leg. From there, we know this has turned into a reaccumulation. This is our reaccumulation leg, and then we come back into it. Okay, once again, we then repeat the same thing. So this row with the accumulation, same price action as here, gives us a new reaccumulation leg, and then order flow change again, and then we're back in here. From here, same thing. But the moment we go and we break this, a couple of things could have happened. We could have had this as our bigger distro, and then this as our accumulation, because I was actually seeing this as an accumulation. Okay, to maybe go and then break this and then give us a bigger reaccumulation. Essentially, once we made this low here, because there was divergence between EN and AU, EN and EN and Euro AUD, Euro odd, where Euro odd was obviously still higher up. So yeah, attempt to accumulate, and then that doesn't give us anything, right? It doesn't come into supply or anything, not yet. And then we get into this price action here. Okay, so we distribute. Now this would have been the make or break of it because we could have come back into here. And just like how we saw with your German 30 earlier, you could have given us a shakeout and then go up, which I guess it did, but this has tapped into supply. When we look at the whole leg here, okay, we tap between that, and then when we look at our last point here, we've come right into that 50. Okay, and this was also the make or break for the supply point here. Was seller sitting here? And obviously the answer is evident here, right? We can definitely see what it did, turning this whole thing into a distro with the break to go lower. So I just thought there was clean market cycle in here, clean evidence of sellers coming in at reasonable POIs. So that was the end. Cool. Let's just quickly go over a scalp order flow US30 trade, and then we'll finish off with platinum. Okay, so this one we're gonna stay on the lower time frame simply because, as I said, it is an order flow news play. And I think some of us might have seen it already, but the reason why US30 more so than the other two, because US30 actually made this low here. So this is our leg that we're looking at. And cool. Not only is the order flow, but we're also playing at a good POI, which is at a 50%. And then when we do drop down, we can see what I'm talking about, right? I don't need to go anywhere. We've got a clean break that we need to look for. We've also got nice divergence. All right, so we've got price here going up. All right. And then last thing is you just fib it out. And there you go. The 80 of the Fibonacci of the retracement ends up with the 80 of the POI. And there you go. Something like that. And then this one, because it's a Friday, of the late afternoon for us here, maybe 5 to 1 would be sufficient, which would be somewhere there. But it gives you a maximum of about 8 to 1. And that is after making out this low as well. So if you to target this low, the target would have been achieved. Um, so I thought that was quite clean, very clean. No doubt, nothing. Yeah, no confusion. Very clean price action with clean break, perfect session timing, using news as an excuse, and then off we go. Yep. Cool. We'll finish off with XPT. That one, so couple of things. Okay, so we know this is what's holding the entire leg from here. But more importantly, we can see there is a bearish order flow here. And that's where we are now. We are inside this leg. Okay. After making out this low, this area here would be the slingshot for me, and then this area here would be the MC for me. And then we've come right into it. Okay. Now a couple of things. There is a active distro here, right? I'll show more sort here. That's our one drive, two drive. This I'm not counting it as a drive, simply because this for me is not one leg. We've got a sign of weakness here, and then we get a shakeout as our UT, and then we've got a break. Okay. So I like this as our trading range. Yeah. Now when we go inside our UT, this is what we see. We see yet another clean. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the break, and from that, and then price comes back. The only thing is, as I said, this one is missed because it doesn't come back into 50 or anything. The only way I guess someone could have played that would have been through sell stop, but I personally wouldn't have done that. But I just thought the price action in there made sense in terms of the micro of it, and then how we came, and then we made this low, and then we made this low, and it's all pulled back into this would give us our full distro to go down inside of our POI, which is here. Which is here. this one here. And even inside this, I tried to look for something where we could have played at. Nothing much. It comes into the POI, but doesn't come into like the 50s or 80s that we like to look for. It does come into the 50, as I said, but this UT here doesn't come into anything now. So, yep, it is what it is. But even from that, that's pretty much all I had. I did have a look at some of this London stocks, but there wasn't anything that we could really look at in terms of, well, there was one I think we looked at from last week or 2 weeks before, that maybe has developed some more. It was the Vodafone, and it was mainly from the fact that I think, yeah, so we break, we come back, and we accumulate, and then since then we've been having nice rhythm to the upside. So now the next key area would be this to break to confirm this active accumulation, or come up into here and then just turn this whole thing into a redistro. So we will see. The one that is still nice to look at, this one, very nice. And I think this week we might have built something. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't. So we're just gonna wait and see what it's gonna do. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Cool. So let's see what this week brings for us. As I said, it's gonna be an exciting week, month. So second week, third week as well, and then the fourth. Okay, so pretty much all 4 weeks are looking good to October. So it should be nice movement coming to the market. Nice red folders. So I'll catch you guys next week.